The sky was dark, not from night, but from smoke. Ash floated gently, like snow, across the battlefield. Ruins stretched for miles. Towers had crumbled. Fires had died. Machines lay twisted, broken, and deep beneath the rubble, someone was still alive. A soft whimper broke the silence. So quiet, even the wind didn't notice. There, under cracked steel and shattered glass, a girl waited. Her skin shimmered like silver. Her long hair was tangled in wires. Her violet eyes, once full of light, stared at nothing. She was an alien, young, weak, alone. Her name was Allah. She hadn't moved in hours, maybe days. Her hands trembled as she held a small, blinking device, a beacon. She had sent a signal for help. Weeks ago, no one had answered. Her voice had grown tired, her heart quiet. Ayla believed no one would come. She was the last of her kind, or so she thought. Far above, hidden in low orbit, a small human ship circled the ruined planet. Its scanners picked up the faintest life signature. The pilot leaned forward. His eyes narrowed. Without a word, he landed the ship in the middle of the ash. Metal groaned under his boots as he stepped out. His armor was scratched. His face was hardened, but his eyes were calm. This was Captain Ryan Hale, a human soldier, elite, dangerous, loyal. He had seen hundreds of battles, saved colonies, defeated armies. But today, he wasn't here to fight. He was here because something felt wrong. A whisper in his gut, a pull in his heart. As he moved through the wreckage, he heard it, a sound, faint, like a cry swallowed by dust. He pushed aside twisted beams, lifted broken panels. His gloves burned, but he didn't stop. Then he saw her small, pale, barely breathing. Her eyes fluttered open. She saw the human, tall, strong, towering over her like a giant. For a moment, she didn't know if she was alive or dreaming. He knelt down slowly, careful not to frighten her. "Hey," he whispered, his voice soft. She didn't understand his words, but his tone made her chest ache. He reached out, gently, slowly, and then, with the care of someone holding something sacred, he lifted her from the rubble. Her body was cold, fragile. She tensed, afraid, but he didn't hurt her. His arms were warm, safe. Her breathing shook. Her fingers curled around his armor. Tears filled her eyes. No one was supposed to come, but he did. Ryan held her close. He looked around the ruins. The pain in her face said everything. She had lost everything. He didn't ask questions. Not yet. He tapped his communicator. "Evac ready. I've got her." The ship's hatch opened. Warm light spilled out into the gray night. Inside, the girl's eyes widened. She had never seen human technology up close. Ryan laid her on a soft medical bed. She winced. Her hands reached for him. He took them in his. "It's okay," he said quietly. "You're safe now." Again, she didn't understand, but something inside her believed him. As the ship lifted off, the ground below faded into shadow. Ayla looked out the window. The place she once called home became smaller and smaller. Gone, she turned back toward Ryan. He was cleaning a cut on her arm, focused, gentle. She studied his face. Rough, scarred, but kind. Who was he? Why did he come? She tried to speak. Her voice cracked, too dry, too weak. He handed her water. She drank slowly. Her lips formed one word. "Why?" Ryan looked at her. Even without knowing her language, he understood the question. He pointed to the beacon she still held in her hand. Then he pointed to himself. "I heard you." She stared at him, confused, but then she smiled. Just a little. Her eyes filled again with tears. She clutched his hand. Ryan didn't pull away. She thought she had been forgotten. She thought no one would ever come. But this human soldier, this stranger from another world, had crossed the stars for her. And in that moment, Ayla knew. Her story wasn't over. It was just beginning. The stars outside the ship moved slowly, cold, silent, endless. Inside the cabin, soft lights glowed, machines hummed quietly, and on the medical bed, Ala slept. Her silver skin shimmered under the blanket. Her breathing was steady now, her heartbeat calm. Captain Ryan Hale sat nearby, one hand on his weapon, the other resting near hers. He didn't know what she was. He didn't know why the signal she sent had been ignored, but he knew one thing. She mattered, and whatever had happened on her planet wasn't an accident. He had seen signs in the wreckage, blast marks too precise, buildings destroyed in patterns. This wasn't just war. It was a purge, a mission to erase someone, to erase her. Ryan had left behind his own squad 3 months ago, discharged after a failed op. Too many lives lost, too many scars. He had promised never to return to the battlefield, but when he picked up her signal, something in him changed. He broke orders, took his old ship out of dock, followed the trace alone now. As the ship moved through deep space, Ryan checked her vitals. Her body was recovering, but her mind, her dreams were loud. She turned in her sleep. Whispers in her alien tongue fell from her lips. She gripped the blanket tightly. Ryan leaned closer. He spoke softly. "You're safe now." She stirred. Her violet eyes opened slowly. At first fear, then recognition. She looked at him. The same human who had pulled her from death. Ryan handed her a tablet. On it, he had drawn simple images. Her, trapped. Him, saving her. A ship flying away. She touched the drawing, then looked at him. Double quotes. "Think, you," she said. Her voice was soft, broken, but learning. Ryan smiled. "You're welcome." She pointed at herself. "Ayla." He nodded. "Ryan." Their names became a bridge, a link between two souls from different worlds. As days passed, Allah began to speak more. Broken words, simple phrases, but the meaning was clear. She had once been part of a royal family, not a queen, not a warrior, but a guardian. Her race had a gift, a rare one. Some could heal, some could read minds. Allah could feel life itself, but that made her dangerous. When war came, her people hid her, sent her far away, told her to send a beacon only if it was truly the end. She had waited until the last moment. Then, she pressed send. Ryan listened, silent, watching her eyes, her hands, the pain hidden between words. He knew that feeling, the weight of survival. She reached out one evening, touched the scar across his jaw. He didn't pull away. "Pain?" she asked. He shook his head. "Old," he replied. She touched her chest. "This pain, new." Ryan felt something shift in his chest. They were both broken, but together, something inside began to heal. As the ship crossed into neutral space, Ryan picked up a signal, a warning, high-value bounty, female target, alien, alive, .aey. Her photo flashed on the screen. The price on her head was enough to make entire fleets move. Ryan's jaw tightened. Someone powerful was still hunting her, and now they knew she was with him. He turned to her. Her eyes scanned the screen. She looked up, afraid. He stepped closer, lowered himself to her eye level. "I won't let them take you," he said. She didn't need to understand the words. She saw the promise in his eyes. That night, the ship moved into stealth mode. No lights, no signals. Ryan sat at the edge of her bed, gun in hand, armor back on. Allah touched his arm. "Why protect?" she asked. He didn't answer right away. Then, softly, he said, "Because someone should have protected you long ago." Her hand slipped into his. She smiled. For the first time, Ryan Hale, the soldier with no mission left, found something worth fighting for. Not orders, not revenge, not medals, but her. Aeyl. She wasn't a mission. She was a reason, and as the stars passed above, brighter and colder than ever, ... He made a silent vow. Whatever was coming, he would face it, even if it cost him everything. Because this time, he wouldn't walk away. The ship drifted through space like a ghost, silent and hidden. Its lights were off, its signals blocked, its engines moved slow, quiet, careful. Inside, Ryan checked every system twice. The bounty was spreading faster than he expected. Too fast. Whoever wanted Ayla found out she had survived. They were coming. And they weren't coming alone. Ayla sat near the window. Her eyes followed the stars, but her heart wasn't on the stars. It was on Ryan. She watched the way he moved, the way he kept his weapon close, the way he never slept. She could feel the weight he carried, not just for her, but from a past full of pain. He didn't speak much, but when he did, it mattered. That night, the quiet broke. A sharp beep echoed through the ship. Warning, lock-on detected. Incoming fire. Ryan jumped to the console. One cruiser. No signal ID. It didn't answer hails. It just fired. Ayla grabbed the wall as the ship shook. Ryan spun the ship down, fast, through a dead zone filled with broken satellites and ancient war wrecks. Hold on, he shouted. He pulled hard on the controls. A missile exploded behind them. The shock wave rocked the hull. Lights flickered. Sparks flew. Ayla cried out. Ryan turned, saw her hit the wall, bleeding from her arm. He raced to her side, ignored the alarms, the damage, everything. Stay with me, he said. She was shaking, her breathing fast. Then, something changed. Her hands started to glow. A soft, warm light spread from her palms. Ryan stared, stunned. She reached up and placed her hand on his chest. The pain in his ribs vanished. The wound from a past battle faded. She was healing him, but it was hurting her. Her nose bled. Her fingers trembled. Stop, he whispered. That's enough. She smiled, weakly. Safe, she said. Then she passed out. Ryan caught her before she hit the floor. He carried her back to the bed, laid her down, covered her gently. He had seen many things, powers, weapons, technology beyond reason. But this was different. This was life, raw, beautiful, fragile. He looked at her glowing hands. As they faded back to normal, she had risked herself, just to fix him. Ryan sat beside her. His jaw clenched. He turned on the emergency comms. This is Captain Ryan Hale, human, former 7th Recon, code 548 Black. He paused. If anyone hears this, stay away. This ship is off limits. He looked down at Ayla. She's under my protection. I don't care who wants her. I don't care how much the bounty is. Come after her. He reached for his rifle. And I will burn you all. The message ended. He shut off the beacon, then powered down all systems again. Outside, the enemy cruiser passed them, searching. It didn't see them drift into the shadow of a broken station. They were safe. For now, hours passed. Ayla woke slowly, her body heavy, her chest aching. Ryan was still there, watching her. You shouldn't have done that, he said. Her voice cracked. You hurt? He smiled. Just a little. Yeah, but I'm used to it. She reached out. Her fingers touched his. I not want. You hurt. Her words were broken, but her meaning was clear. Ryan looked down. Their hands locked. He didn't speak. Didn't need to. His silence said more than any words could. The room stayed quiet, but outside, the stars seemed to burn brighter. A soft hum filled the ship. Most of the lights stayed off, except for a warm yellow glow near the cabin. Ayla sat curled in a chair, wrapped in Ryan's old field jacket. It was far too big for her, but she held it tightly, like a shield, like a memory dot. She watched him from across the room. Ryan sat at the edge of the cockpit, adjusting the controls, scanning for threats. Always alert. His armor lay beside him, scuffed heavy, marked with battles she couldn't imagine. She had asked him once, "Why do you always stay awake?" He had answered simply, "Because someone has to." But she knew the truth. He stayed awake because sleep brought him back to places he didn't want to remember. Just like her, Isla stood and walked slowly to his side. In her hand, she held a datapad. It showed simple drawings, stick figures, lines, and shapes. She had made them. One showed her world before the war, a garden, a home. Laughter. Another showed the day it all ended. Ryan looked at the pictures, then back at her. She pointed to the third one. It was him, carrying her out of the ruins. Her voice was quiet. "You brought hope." He stared at the drawing for a long time. Then he took the pad and added something, a small flame in the sky above the two of them. "Even in darkness," he said, "a little light is enough." She smiled. Her fingers brushed his hand. There was no need for more words. That night, the stars outside the ship moved slowly. Ala sat beside Ryan as he taught her more human words. He pointed to objects. Engine, chair, water. She repeated them, then tried her own. In her language, Fala meant strength. "Fala," she said, pointing at him. He laughed. "You think I'm strong?" She nodded, then touched her chest. "Fala," she said, again, this time pointing at herself. Ryan raised an eyebrow. "You're stronger than me," he said softly. The next word she asked for was different. She pointed to his chest, then to hers, then joined her hands together. "What word?" she asked. He hesitated. The silence stretched, then he answered. "Together." She repeated it. "Together." The word settled between them like gravity. Neither of them moved. The moment was fragile, real. But peace never lasted long in space. A signal blinked on the console. Ryan's expression changed instantly. He stood up, face sharp, focused. Multiple ships approaching. Small class, not military. Bounty hunters. Isla's eyes widened. She stepped back, fear flashing in her eyes. Ryan turned to her. "We'll be okay." She shook her head. "They find me, hurt you." He picked up his rifle, checked the ammo, loaded it without blinking. "I told you, no one's hurting you." She placed both hands on his chest. "Don't go." He froze. Then his voice broke the silence. "I'm not leaving. I'll fight from here. But you have to hide." She didn't move. He looked at her again. "Please, Ayla, you're not just someone I saved. You're someone I care about." She looked into his eyes, then slowly nodded. Ryan turned, ready to face whatever came. As he locked down the controls and activated the ship's defenses, he felt something behind him, Ayla's arms, wrapping gently around his waist. "I stay close," she whispered. He placed his hand over hers, not to push her away, but to hold on. The ship floated in the shadow of a cold asteroid field. Outside, darkness ruled inside. Ryan stood still, watching the screen flash again and again. Red alerts, incoming pings, unknown ships in range. Every scan told the same story. They weren't random bounty hunters anymore. They were trackers. Smarter, faster, paid by someone powerful. Someone who wanted Ayla alive, but only for their own reasons. Ryan turned to her. She sat quietly in the corner, staring at the blinking lights. She wasn't surprised. "Not anymore. They found me," she whispered. He nodded. "They're closing in." Ayla rose from her seat and walked over to him. Her steps were slow, but steady. "You have to know," she said, "who I am." Ryan looked at her. "You don't have to. I do." She touched the panel beside them. A soft light rose, revealing a small cube in her hand. She pressed it. A projection filled the air. Glowing symbols. Ancient language. Maps. Energy flows. "This is why they hunt me," she said. She pointed to a star system. A small, blinking dot. There is a weapon, buried deep inside a sun, old, powerful, built by my ancestors. Ryan studied the display. No one knew it existed, she continued. Not even my people, but I carry the key. My blood unlocks it. Ryan's jaw tightened. Then that's why your world was attacked. She nodded. They didn't want the key. They wanted to erase it. But you escaped. Ayla's voice shook. My father. He sent me away. He told me to run, to hide, to survive. She looked into Ryan's eyes. I didn't want to. I begged to stay. But he said, you are the last light. If you die, the stars will go dark. Silence filled the room. Then Ryan stepped closer. He placed a hand on her shoulder. You're not alone now. Her breath caught in her throat. I don't want to run anymore. You won't. A sudden alarm cut through the moment. Ship detected. Distance. 20 clicks. Stealth mode. Unknown signature. Ryan cursed under his breath. There. Already here. He tapped the console. We need to get to the surface. There's a moon nearby. Uninhabited. We can land and hide the ship. Allah grabbed his arm. Double quotes. No. No more hiding. Let them come. Ryan stared at her. Her voice was calm. But inside her eyes, fire burned. I don't want to run, she repeated. I want to fight. With you. He shook his head. Ayla, you saw what using your powers did to you. It nearly killed you. She stepped closer. But it saved you. I'm not worth your life. You are, she said. You're worth everything. Ryan looked at her, stunned. Her hand rose to his face. I feel it, she said. Here. She placed her fingers over her heart. When I'm with you, I'm not just surviving, I'm living. He closed his eyes. Then he nodded once. All right, we fight together. They landed the ship in a valley of ice and steel. The moon was silent. Frozen from past wars, Ryan set up the defenses. Camouflage nets, pulse traps, emergency override codes. Ayla stood in the center of the valley. Eyes closed, hands glowing softly. He handed her a small device. If things go wrong, he said, use this. It will send a signal to my old squad. She shook her head. No backup. You're stubborn. She smiled. You like that? Before he could answer, the sky above cracked open. 3 ships. Fast, sleek, marked, with blood-red insignias. They didn't bother talking. They fired. The battle began. Ryan moved like a storm. His rifle roared, every shot precise. He shielded Ayla with his body, pushed her behind cover, took hit after hit. She screamed his name. Her voice echoed through the valley. Then, when his weapon jammed and his arm bled, she stood up, alone, in the open. The bounty hunters turned to her, and that's when the glow returned, brighter than before. Ayla stands in the center of the ice valley, her hands raised, her body surrounded by light. Ryan watches from behind, wounded but smiling. The hunters freeze, not in fear, but in awe, because they realize she's not just a key, she's something more, something human hearts understand better than any alien ever could. Hope. The frozen moon shook with thunder. Not from storms, but from battle. 3 enemy ships circled the valley. Their engines screamed. Their weapons lit up the ice with fire. In the middle stood Ayla. Her silver skin glowed like starlight. Her eyes burned with power. She had never looked like this before, not when Ryan found her in the rubble. Not even when she healed his wounds. Now, she stood tall, not hiding, not afraid, a force of nature. Ryan, wounded and out of breath, stood behind the ruined wing of the dropship. His left arm was limp, his rifle nearly empty, but his eyes never left her. The enemy soldiers stepped forward, black armor, red visors, cold, heartless. They raised their weapons. Ryan shouted, Ayla, get down, but she didn't move. Instead, She lifted her hands, and the ground trembled. The sky above cracked with light. Blue veins of energy danced through the clouds. Then in a single breath, she stepped forward. Her voice rose, calm and clear. You hunted me. You killed my people. You tried to break me. She raised her hands higher. But you forgot one thing. The enemies paused. She looked back at Ryan. I am not alone. In a flash of light, a wave of energy burst from her chest. It swept through the valley, knocking weapons from enemy hands. Shields shattered. Drones dropped from the air like stones. Ryan stared, eyes wide. He had seen many things in war, but this was something else, something pure. The enemy regrouped. They fired again, this time faster, angrier. Ryan moved in front of Isla. His body shielded hers, his stance unshaken, but he knew he couldn't stop them all. Suddenly, Isla grabbed his arm. No more, she whispered, and then everything stopped. Time didn't freeze, but it felt like it. Her body lifted into the air, surrounded by a sphere of light. Ryan fell back, blinded by the glow. The enemies tried to retreat, but it was too late. The light exploded outward in a wave of color and heat. No fire, no blood, just silence. And when the light faded, the valley was empty. The ships were gone, the attackers erased, and Ayla was falling. Ryan rushed forward, arms out. He caught her just before she hit the ground. Her breathing was shallow, her skin pale, her hands were cold. No, 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 Ryan said, holding her tight. Her eyes fluttered open. She tried to smile. Did we win? She whispered. He laughed softly, through tears. Yeah, you did. She looked into his eyes. I'm sorry, I had to use it all. He shook his head. No, you don't say sorry. You saved us. Her eyes grew heavy. She touched his face. I wanted to protect you. You did, he said. You protected me. Now, let me protect you. He picked her up in his arms, just like he did the first day. But this time, he held her closer. This time, he knew what she meant to him. Not just a survivor, not just a mission, but someone he loved. As he carried her back into the ship, he whispered to her softly, stay with me. We're not finished yet. You and me. We still have one more fight. Behind them, the valley was quiet. No more blasts, no more screams, only wind, and somewhere in that silence, a signal was sent to a place far from war, a place called Earth. Message that read, mission critical. I have the key, but I need help. I need home. The ship drifted in silence, deep in the edge of known space, far from war, far from danger. Inside, all lights were dim. Ryan sat in the medical bay. His armor lay on the floor. His hands were stained with dried blood, not his own. Isla had not moved in hours. She lay still on the bed, wrapped in clean fabric. Her chest rose, but faintly. Her skin had lost its glow. Ryan didn't speak. He had done everything he could. He had used every tool, every patch, every bit of energy to keep her alive. And now he waited. He watched her. Facepale.com, he whispered to her. You told me once you felt safe with me. His voice cracked. But I've never felt safe until I met you. He reached for her hand. It didn't respond. He held it gently anyway. I used to think I didn't belong to anything. Just another soldier, another number, a name on a list. He looked down. But then you looked at me, and I became something else. He leaned closer. Don't go, please. A single tear fell onto her hand. He didn't wipe it away. He just sat there, silent, still. The monitors beeped, slowly, weakly. He waited. Then her fingers twitched. He looked up, frozen. Her eyes fluttered open, just a little, then more. She blinked. Her lips parted, dry but smiling. Ryan, he laughed through tears. You're awake. She looked around, confused. Where? We're safe, he said. You're safe. She reached up and touched his cheek. You Stayed, always, he whispered. She tried to sit up. He helped her gently. You burned the sky, he said, trying to smile. You saved us all. Her voice was weak, but steady. I felt like I was dying. You were, but then I heard your voice. He looked into her eyes. I thought I lost you. She leaned her forehead against his. No, you found me. Again. They sat like that for a long time. In silence. Together. No more war. No more running. Just two hearts, alive. Days later, the ship touched down on Earth. Rain fell over the landing pad. Gentle and warm. Ryan stepped out first. Behind him, Ayla followed. Dressed in a long coat, her violet eyes wide with wonder. People stared, not with fear, but awe. They had seen the message. They had heard the story. The alien girl who held the key to an ancient weapon. The human soldier who saved her. Together, they had stopped a war before it began. As Ryan walked beside her, hand in hand, she leaned in close. So many people. They're here for you. She shook her head. No, she said. They're here for us. He smiled, and for the first time in his life, he felt at home. Not the planet, not the ground, but her hand in his, her heart beside his. They had survived the fire, together, and now, they would build something new. She was the last of her kind. He was a broken soldier with nothing left. But together, they became more than a story. They became a reason, a bond, a future.